Robert Louis Stevenson. Treasure Island. Chapter 8. At the Sign of the Spyglass. After I finished breakfast, the squire gave me a note for John Silver at the Spyglass Inn. He told me I would find it easily by following the docks and looking for a small tavern with a large brass telescope as its sign. I went out happily, glad to see more ships and sailors. I walked through a busy crowd of people, carts, and goods because the dock was full of activity, until I found the tavern. It was a bright and pleasant place. The sign was newly painted, the windows had clean red curtains, and the floor was covered with fresh sand. There was a street on each side and a door open on both sides, so the large, low room was quite easy to see, even with the smoke from pipes. Most of the people inside were sailors, and they spoke very loudly. I stayed at the door for a moment, almost afraid to go in. While I was standing there, a man came out of a side room, and I was sure at once that he must be Long John. His left leg was cut off near the hip, and he used a crutch under his left arm. He moved very easily, almost like a bird hopping. He was tall and strong, with a large face. His face was simple and pale, but also clever and friendly. He looked very cheerful, whistling as he moved among the tables, speaking kindly or touching the shoulder of some of the customers. To tell the truth, ever since I first heard about Long John in the squire's letter, I had been afraid that he might be the one-legged sailor I had watched for so long at the Admiral Benbow. But one look at him was enough. I had seen the captain and Black Dog and the blind man Pew, and I thought I knew what a pirate looked like. This man was very different. He seemed clean, friendly, and good-natured. I felt brave at once, walked inside, and went straight up to him, where he stood, leaning on his crutch and talking to a customer. "Mr. Silver, sir?" I asked, giving him the note. "Yes, my boy," he said. "That is my name. And who are you?" Then, when he saw the squire's letter, he seemed a little surprised. "Oh," he said loudly, and held out his hand. "I see. You are our new cabin boy. I am glad to meet you." He took my hand in his strong grip. Just then, one of the customers at the far side suddenly stood up and rushed toward the door. The door was close, and he was outside in a moment. But his quick movement caught my attention, and I recognized him at once. It was the pale man with 2 missing fingers, the same man who had first come to the Admiral Benbow. "Oh," I cried, "stop him! It is Black Dog!" "I don't care who he is," cried Silver. "But he hasn't paid his bill. Harry, run and catch him." One of the men near the door jumped up and ran after him. "Even if he were Admiral Hawke, he must pay his bill," shouted Silver. Then he let go of my hand and asked, "Who did you say he was?" "Black what?" "Dog, sir," I said. "Has Mr. Trelawney not told you about the pirates? He was one of them." "Is that so?" cried Silver. "In my house? Ben, go and help Harry. Was he one of those fellows? Were you drinking with him, Morgan? Come here." The man he called Morgan, an old sailor with gray hair and a dark face, came forward nervously, chewing tobacco. "Now, Morgan," said Long John very seriously, "you never saw that Black Dog before, did you?" "No, sir," said Morgan, saluting him. "You didn't know his name, did you?" "No, sir." "Well, that is lucky for you," said the landlord. "If you had anything to do with a man like that, you would never come back into my house again. Now tell me, what was he saying to you?" "I don't really know, sir," answered Morgan. "Don't really know," said Long John angrily. "Do you have a brain or not? Maybe you don't even know who you were talking to. Come on, what was he talking about? Voyages, captains, ships. Speak up." "We were talking about keel hauling," said Morgan. "Keel hauling, were you? Well, that is something you might deserve yourself. Go back to your seat, you fool." As Morgan went back, Silver leaned toward me and said quietly, in a friendly way, "He is an honest man, Tom Morgan. Just a bit stupid." Then he spoke loudly again. "Now let me think. Black Dog? No, I don't know that name. But I think I have seen that man. Yes, I have. He used to come here with a blind beggar." "That is true," I said. "I knew that blind man too. His name was Pew." "It was!" cried Silver, now very excited. "Pew! That was his name?" "Yes, he looked like a dangerous man. If we catch this Black Dog, there will be news for Captain Trelawney. Ben is a fast runner. Few sailors can run faster. He will catch him for sure." "He talked about keel hauling, did he?" "I will keel haul him." While he spoke, he moved quickly around the tavern on his crutch, hitting tables with his hand and showing great excitement. Anyone would have believed him completely. At first, I had begun to suspect him again when I saw Black Dog at the spyglass, so I watched him carefully. But he was too clever and too quick for me. When the two men returned, tired and out of breath, and said they had lost Black Dog in the crowd, and Silver shouted at them angrily, I was ready to believe that Long John Silver was innocent. "Look here, Hawkins," he said. "This is a hard situation for a man like me, isn't it? What will Captain Trelawney think? I had this bad man sitting in my own house, drinking my rum. Then you come and tell me, and I still let him escape right in front of me. Now, Hawkins, be fair with the captain about me. You are a young boy, but you are very clever. I saw that when you first came in. Now listen, what could I do with this old leg? When I was a strong sailor, I would have caught him quickly, no problem. But now..." Suddenly he stopped, and his mouth opened as if he had remembered something. "The bill!" he shouted. 3 glasses of rum. Why, I forgot to charge him." He sat down on a bench and laughed so much that tears came to his eyes. I could not help laughing too, and we both laughed loudly until the whole tavern could hear us. "What a foolish old sailor I am," he said at last, wiping his face. "You and I will get along well, Hawkins. I think I should be just a cabin boy myself. But come now, we must go. Duty is duty, my friend. I will put on my hat and come with you to Captain Trelawney and tell him everything. Because this is serious, Hawkins. Neither you nor I have done very well in this matter. No, not very clever, either of us. But still, that was a funny thing about the bill." And he started laughing again, and although I did not find it as funny as he did, I laughed with him again. As we walked along the docks, he was very interesting to listen to. He told me about the different ships we passed, their size, their type, and where they came from. He explained what the sailors were doing, how one ship was unloading, another was taking goods on board, and another was getting ready to sail. He also told me stories about ships and sailors, and taught me sea expressions until I understood them well. I began to think he would be an excellent companion on the voyage. When we reached the inn, the squire and Dr. Livesey were sitting together, finishing a drink before going to visit the ship. Long John told the whole story from beginning to end, with great energy and complete truth. From time to time he would say, "That is how it happened, isn't it, Hawkins?" And I always agreed with him. The two gentlemen were sorry that Black Dog had escaped, but we all agreed that nothing more could be done. After they praised him, Long John took his crutch and left. "All hands on board by 4 this afternoon," shouted the squire after him. "Yes, sir," cried the cook from the passage. "Well, squire," said Dr. Livesey, "I do not usually trust your choices, but I will say this. John Silver seems good to me. The man is excellent, said the squire. "And now," added the doctor, "Jim can come with us on board, can he not?" "Of course he can," said the squire. "Take your hat, Hawkins, and we will go and see the ship."